Welcome to etvFutures.com. It's Thursday, November 29th. I'm Remy Hokie for Commodities Recap. NYMEX crude oil futures closed up with slight gains on the session. 3 out of the 4 U.S.-Canadian pipelines that were shut down due to an explosion were restarted today. And overnight, crude oil futures rallied over $4 in electronic trading on the heels of this news. At the end of today's session, January crude oil ended up by 39 cents at $91.01. Also, NYMEX December gasoline fell 1.09 cents to $2.26 a gallon. December oil added 0.33 cents to close at $7.71 a gallon. Earlier today, the EIA reported that U.S. nat gas in storage fell 12 BCF in the week ended November 23rd. Nat gas futures for January delivery closed down 3.4 cents at $7.452 per million BTU. Over in the metals complex, gold futures finished below $800 an ounce. This came as the U.S. dollar saw corrective strength against the euro and sterling. December gold fell $5 to end at $795.30 an ounce on the New York Mercantile Exchange. This afternoon, we're joined by Tom Puckett, commodity broker at KIS Futures. He'll recap today's action in energy and metals and also give us his short-term outlook.
Thank you, Remy. Today we're looking at the markets for the metals as well as the energies. Very interesting trade this week, very active trade it seems following Thanksgiving last week. On the reports yesterday, the distillates inventories had a reduction of about 89,000 barrels, and so that definitely is showing a small difference. Crude oil was down 452,000 barrels. Not a huge amount, but at the same time, interesting and significant this time of year. Gasoline inventories, however, were actually up 1.44 million barrels, so they were notably increased compared to the other products in the complex. There's talk this week of Saudi Arabia increasing their production, and that certainly has probably weighed on the market pricing and the action in the market as much as anything. The crude oil currently, as we're looking at the January contract, is trading around $91 in the mid-90s on the low and the high side being about 95.17 or so. Prospects on that may be that we might see a reduction further in price, crude oil as well as the products. Natural gas came out this morning with a draw of about 12 billion cubic feet, and we find that storage is pretty well full. So the general look on the market is that we may be looking into the $6 range on the natural gas pricing. Of course, we haven't had any major crude or cold weather yet this year, and so that certainly will have an effect if some Canadian air comes in or Arctic air comes in and drops the temperatures to where the usage starts going up. We may see a stabilization of the reduction. In the metals and the gold, we've in the last few weeks, a few days or so, been kind of all over the place. Back at the earlier part of November, we were up at 848, high price on the gold, and we've come down currently to where the gold is in the 795 range, definitely under $800. And the question is it going to be a sell-off? Is it going to reduce? Very well could, but there also is a lot of profit taking. I think overall gold is still looked at as a pretty favorable place to find refuge, a haven type of contract. We see the gold also following with its little brother silver. Silver is down about 10 cents today, $14.40, $14.50 in that range. The support points we find in the gold currently, we're looking at a pricing based upon December. It's $7.95. We have a support line at $7.90.36 or so, and there's another one that's just a little below at $7.82.65. Those hold. We may see the price go sideways for a while, but we have about 4 price lines just in that mid-range that seem to be pretty strong for gold. On the silver side, we are looking at a support at about $14.35, and that's on the December contract. $14.22 is where we are last shown trading. So we're a little bit under that, and that actually becomes a resistance point. Next point down is around 1406, 1407, somewhere in that range. On the crude oil, the pricing that we've seen, we've had an interesting day yesterday. We're down $3 some today. We're up 40 cents. We've been down lower, been up higher, just moving all around. Looks like the market's looking for a hiding place. We've got a support point at $90.35. Again, looking at the January contract, we're looking at $90.35, and currently that is the price shown on the electronic board. We have further support at $88.97, $87.59, $86.21. There's a lot of discussion that we might go to the mid-80s before too long. It very well could happen, but we could also see any number of things happening in the world that would cause the price to stabilize and perhaps increase. Natural gas, again, it looks like it's a weather and storage-related market. We have support at $727.35. This is based the January contract, and right now we're at $746 in that range. So that has definitely held. We've been down to about $738 or so on the pricing. So we still have that holding. Next stop below is possibly under $7. As we look at the Dow Jones, it's at 13.3 as we speak in that range. High has been just recently the highest historical high was 14,270, and there's discussion that the 15,000 mark may be in the minds of some of the long-term traders. The economy seems to be doing very well. Stock prices are holding up in spite of the mortgage problems. Discussion about reduced growth for 08, as well as the real estate bubble possibly having burst or bursting. How far will it really go? The Dow Jones seems to be doing its own thing and just going along famously. We have the dollar at 75 to 76, and the euro is about 147 to 148. So not much change there, but potentials of dollar rise as well as a euro sell-off. The question whether the euro will actually become a trading vehicle for the world as opposed to the dollar, that's discussed. I think the dollar will hold its own. So basically we have a very active market this week. Crude oil is down overall, and yet we're still high. Gold is high, and yet it's down. Let's take a look at it next week and see what's happened in the few days between. Thank you, Remy.
That was Tom Puckett, commodity broker at KIS Futures, with his commodities commentary. I'm Remy Hokie. Join us later for PM Exchange right here on etvFutures.com.